Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I'm taking you on an incredible day tour to Coron Island, one of the most beautiful places in the Philippines. It's in the north of the island of Palawan, and you can get there by flying from Manila, the capital of the Philippines, or by taking a ferry boat from El Nido, which is also a very beautiful journey. I hope you enjoyed this trip as much as I did, and without further ado, let's jump right in. So in order to go to Coron Island, you need to stay at Coron Town, in the biggest island in the region. Coron Town is located on Busuang Island. And then usually these day tours depart from the port in Coron Town and they take you to the island just across a stretch of the sea. And that island is actually the so-called Coron Island, even though this whole region is sort of called Coron. You can take a fishing boat tour from Coron Town to this incredible island of Coron. And Coron Island is part of the Kalayaan Islands in northern Palawan, a region known for its pristine natural beauty. Something really interesting is that Coron Island is owned by a people, the Tabanwa people, one of the oldest indigenous groups in the Philippines, who help preserve the natural beauty. So that means the island is a protected ancestral domain. So tourism is carefully managed to respect the environment and local culture. The park fees that we pay in order to go to Coron Island go to this tribe. That's really cool. These fishing boat tours take you to several stops, and then the first stop is usually the Kayangan Lake. Kayangan Lake is known as having the cleanest waters in Asia. I couldn't verify this information, but you know, we'll go with that information that was given there. In all honesty, the waters looked pretty clean and beautiful, and it was such a pleasant vibe. You could swim around, you could watch the little fishes and have an amazing time there, just floating on the water, super relaxing. And there's also, of course, the iconic viewpoint before entering the lake, even though you have to do a small trek to go up there and take the scenic picture. Beautiful colors, beautiful green reflections of the vegetation on the water, turquoise blue waters everywhere. But it's these kind of colors that it looks like it's only found in the Philippines. Like, it's a very particular shade of green and a very particular shade of blue in these waters in the Philippines. This lake is surrounded by limestone peaks that are super dramatic and beautiful, like you are in a movie set. It's really pretty. This swim was very calm and refreshing, and wow, what a great start to this trip. If you can, try to bring water shoes, just in case you need to step on some rocks. You might hurt yourself if you don't have shoes on. From Kayangan Lake, we then go on to the next stop on our tour, Barracuda Lake. Barracuda Lake is incredible. It's got these unique thermocline layers, warm water on top and cool below. There's also a lot of limestone cliffs around the lake that make it feel secluded and magical even. These limestone cliffs were actually created by erosion throughout millions of years, and everywhere you go in Coron, you'll see these cliffs, and they are really striking. They make a lot of interesting shapes. You can literally just swim around, chill in the water, do some snorkeling, even though it's a freshwater lake. If you wish, there are also tours or extras that you can do. For example, you can do diving in this lake to kind of experiment the different temperatures of the water, like the thermocline layers I was talking about. I didn't dive, but I was literally swimming on top of the divers, and all these bubbles were coming upstream from them, and what an eerie feeling. It really looked like a black hole of some sort, that I was going into a new dimension. And of course, the relaxation of those bubbles as well, touching my body and making me feel that like I was at a spa. That was a very unique experience that I was not expecting. But then my absolute favorite thing of this lake was the little fishes, the little tiny fish that had like a long nose that could be seen swimming right in front of you, next to you, below you, like everywhere. They were so cute. It just made the place even more magical. I'm not sure what species of fish that is. I checked online and it's just saying it's a needlefish. I didn't even know this fish existed. So yeah, needlefish apparently. The limestone also continues under the waters of the lake. When I was filming that, I actually saw this beautiful shrimp with very long arms, very long claws. Extremely interesting to see that thing walking around those limestone peaks underwater. Then after this stop, we go to another very important part of the trip, which is the Twin Lagoons. Very famous and popular, and I think there's even tours that highlight this as the main attraction. Depends on your opinion and your preference. The twin lagoons are separated by a narrow opening. You can either swim around it or take a kayak and go through from one lagoon to the other and then climb up that narrow opening. And there's also a little tunnel you can go through that connects the two lagoons. Super interesting.
We're going through a cave now. Whoa. sorry. Yeah.
It's more like an activity, let's say, rather than a place to relax, and that kind of like spices up the trip. And of course, this whole time you are surrounded by these beautiful cliffs again, with these beautiful peaks and vegetation covering them, like you are in some sort of Lord of the Rings style of movie. It can get a little crowded, I'm not gonna lie.
The traffic jam. Oh, traffic jam?
I was there during the high season, supposedly, so that was January, and despite the people that were there, it didn't feel too crowded. It was just perfect the whole time. Another thing you can feel when you're at the twin lagoons, depending on the tides, is the difference between the fresh water and the salt water. Maybe you can notice that. Then after all these spots, you are taken to one of the beaches. We were taken to a beach called Beach 91, which is a very popular, very beautiful beach. We had a buffet lunch. We could literally pick fish and seafood and rice and different types of meat. It was an amazing lunch experience with views over to the ocean and the turquoise blue colors on the white sandy beach. And also you are given the possibility to take a kayak and go use it around the beach, go to the other side of the cliff, explore the little coves that are through these limestone cliffs. You're free to roam around the beach, to swim, to do whatever you want. So this tour gives you a lot of freedom, which is good. You feel like you're a little adventurer on your mission. So it's quite nice. Again, it was not very crowded, but yeah, these things can change and it's beyond our control, of course. We got the transparent kayak in hopes of seeing some animal life underneath, but honestly, for the extra costs, I think it's not worth it because you just get busy kayaking and like going to places on that kayak and just watching the landscape around you and swimming and snorkeling. You barely notice what's underneath the kayak, and also the scratches underneath don't really let you see much. If I were you, I would just go with a regular kayak. Then after that, you go to the snorkeling spot part of the tour, and that is called Balinsasayaw Coral Garden. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. In this amazingly beautiful coral garden, you'll see vibrant colors everywhere, a lot of little fish, lots of species of different animals, and also with decent clear visibility. It was a sunny day, and I recommend you do this trip if it's sunny. For example, if you spend 3 days in Coron, save the cloudy days for some other activities, maybe inland to see some animals in the forest, rather than going into water activities. That's my recommendation if you want to get the best colors out of this landscape. Being on the fishing boat was amazing. The staff is always looking after you, making sure you're okay. You've got an allocated seat, and you can stand if you want. You can go to the front, you can take pictures, you can enjoy the wind through your hair, if you have any, of course. You can sunbathe, you can literally just make the most out of that fishing boat, honestly. What's also good about this kind of trip is that you always have the chance to make new friendships, to meet new people on board, especially with like-minded travelers. We were really glad to have met wonderful fellow travelers where you could just exchange experiences and tell stories. That's a really cool thing about this sort of day trip. I recommend this trip to anyone at any age, and I'll have to say that out of all the places we visited and the activities we've done in this tour, I gotta say that my favorite one, weirdly enough, is Barracuda Lake. For some reason, those little fish and just the uniqueness of the place got stuck with me. I will never forget that experience. Even the bubbles that I've described made it feel like I was at a spa. The emotions that I felt there were sort of new and unique. So yeah, this was my amazing adventure at Coron Island in the Philippines, and I hope you enjoyed my video. Like and subscribe for more. And yeah, one final question, if you can let me know in the comments, have you been to this place? Did you like it? What was the feeling overall? And yeah, without further ado, until next time, bye.